How to make decisions so they decrease anxiety. I'm Dr. Trish Leigh. Stay with me in this video because I'm going to share with you the 3 aspects of decision making and then share with you how they can lead you towards anxiety and suffering or lead you away from that and lead you towards peace and happiness. Lastly, I'm going to share with you your brain tip for today. And before that, I'm going to share a story that hopefully gels these concepts so that you can have some really strong takeaways. Okay, so what's involved in decision making? Number 1, what is a decision? A decision is a conclusion that you reach based upon a belief. So I want you to think about that for a minute. A belief. Where do our beliefs come from? Our beliefs come from our programming. Where does our programming come? Our programming comes from our parents, our teachers, our religion, our culture, our community. Sometimes our beliefs are born out of trauma. Sometimes our beliefs are born out of the way our brain has been functioning for a while. So I want you to question those beliefs because the belief leads to the conclusion, which is the decision. Now, the reason that's important is because the decision then leads to an outcome. Now, how does that happen? When you make a decision, it then leads you to one of 2 things. If your decision is built on unhealthy feelings of anxiousness, anxiety, guilt, resentment, unresolved trauma of the past that keeps popping into your brain, if your decision making on a day-to-day basis is informed by these unhealthy beliefs, then you get an outcome that leads you in the wrong direction. It leads you to the proverbial downward spiral. But if your decision is based on feelings of happiness, feelings of integrity and dignity, and if it's built on feelings of being able to move towards happiness, it can really inform the outcome, what you get. So let's look at this. What is the outcome of a decision that is based on angsty feelings of the past? You get suffering. Unfortunately, you get suffering. It is literally a path leading towards that neurologically and behaviorally. So if your decision is based on optimism, pragmatic optimism of the future, if it's based on looking for the gratitude of the life you have in the present, if it's based on hope, if it's based on positive beliefs and a positive belief system, it neurologically and behaviorally moves you in a better direction towards peace and happiness and joy and being on purpose in the life that you love and that you deserve. That is what I want for you. So the decision is based on the belief, which leads you to the outcome. And the outcome gets you your state of being. So when you make constant decisions that are informed from the past, then you end up staying in this anxious state. And literally what it does is it hardwires in the brain pattern for anxiety, which then creates and perpetuates more feelings of anxiousness. So what we need to do is we need to break that thought system. Now here's one way of doing it, and this was really cute. My daughter is a Libra. She's 11, so she's into horoscopes and things like that. She's so cute. She wears this Libra necklace. So this morning, I was joking because I was standing in the pantry and I didn't, I'm chatting with everybody and I didn't remember why I was in the pantry. Classic, right? So I am in the pantry and she said something, I can't remember what it was. And I said, yeah, well, that's better than having decidophobia in the pantry for the last 15 minutes. My sister calls it decidophobia, when you can't make a decision. So my daughter says to me, I am a Libra. Libras can't make decisions. And I said, what are you talking about? You're the best decision maker. She's sharp as a tack, that kid. A lot of our friends will joke about how she keeps my husband in check and in line. I'm like, you make decisions literally like this all day long. What are you talking about? She's like, no, I'm a Libra. Libras can't make decisions. So my point about that is she is classifying and characterizing herself as a Libra who isn't good at decisions. And if she keeps telling herself that, and if that becomes her belief system, in 1 year, that little chickie won't be able to make a decision to save her life, because it will become the outcome or the conclusion of the belief system that she's trying to, and she's just being cute about it, but right now she's going to accidentally start identifying with. And sometimes it can be as simple as that. Now, if you struggle with chronic anxiety, I'm not playing that down. I understand how terrifying and horrible and debilitating it can be. But I also know that there's 2 ways that we can change that. Number 1 is brain training. Neurofeedback can start bringing that anxiety mode in your brain down so you can make better decisions. Then, when you decide to go out with your family for dinner, even though you struggle with social anxiety, then you go out and now your brain's in a better mode so you can enjoy yourself a little bit more than you did a month ago. You start building the upward spiral from a better brain performance pattern that leads to better decision making that gets you better outcomes. And what that leads to is happiness and joy instead of the downward spiral into more anxiety. So I want you to know your decisions are important. So how do you decide again? This is your brain tip number 4. The way you decide again is by peeling the layers back and questioning those beliefs. And I know if you're in a chronically anxious state, it's very difficult to even get that magnifying glass out and to look at the beliefs because they have a hold on you. That's why brain training's so important. But when you can look at those beliefs and you're like, okay, I believe that going out is terrifying. Thus, going out is terrifying, which makes it so that the outcome is I just stay in all the time. Then you end up in that downward spiral. But if you can challenge that belief system and say to yourself, going out has been difficult in the past, but now my brain's in a better pattern and I've been coached into a skill or 2 so that I can now go out and feel more confident, and I have a strategy to talk to people. Now you can get your brain moving in the right direction. The pattern can be broken. So if you have unresolved trauma from the past, it has to be resolved. And there's techniques for that. And a strong coach should be able to help you to be able to unravel that and break that neuro rigidity that your brain is in, locking it in that trauma mode and making it difficult to come out of anxiety. But once you unlock that, then you can make the better decisions by questioning the programming that either someone else has put in your brain or you have been programming yourself. So to all the Libras out there, I want you to know you can make decisions easily. And for everybody else, I want you to know you can change your belief system underneath that so that decision making becomes easier and it literally changes your brain for you so you can get and stay in peace and rock out your best life. Okay, if you're looking for help on that journey, please go over to drtrishleigh.com. I offer remote neurofeedback and coaching so that I can do that very thing to help you. I'm telling you, I've helped hundreds of people. I've helped people who can't come out of their room. They've been in their room for years, and now they have their own business. That's one example. That is what can be done if you commit and then you allow the brain training to make the changes in your brain for you, and then you get on board with making new decisions and moving towards new outcomes. I'd love to help you in that journey if it feels good, so reach out, drtrishleigh.com, and until next time, control your brain or it'll control you.